Fuck it. I invented editing. My name is John Edit, inventor of editing. You fucked up, sir. You will be hearing from my lawyers. There's YouTuber drama.
Splash zone, I'm just gonna cannonball into the pool right away here because this story's got me heated. I am boiling right now. On YouTube, there is one unforgivable sin. An unwritten rule that every creator and user is aware of. It's kind of like a treaty, a truce that we've all shaken hands on and accept because it is inexcusable, slimy, and anytime someone tries to take a bite of the forbidden fruit, they rightfully get their cheeks disciplined, a very firm spanking from the whole community, and most of the time they end up pretty much losing their career from it, from their own self-destructive narcissism and greed. That is false copyright strikes.
Yes.
And unfortunately, that's what we're talking about today. A big YouTube channel named Magnates Media is facing termination because he received 3 fraudulent copyright strikes from another YouTube channel named Business Casual, aka Alex Edson. Now, Alex Edson is a special fucking malicious goofball. You see, this guy didn't even build the Business Casual channel from scratch or anything. He bought it when it was already extremely popular. So he didn't even put the fucking work in, which is an absolute goober move off rip. But you've probably heard of this channel recently because he had a viral video talking about why he's suing YouTube. And while there is some compelling points and evidence, there's also a bunch of dirty barnacles in here as well, with some shady claims and some claims that were just absolutely wrong, like provably false. But overall, like, the video did have a lot to it, which is why it was so popular, and it was well put together, it was high production, and made some good points and some not so great points. But overall, it was kind of odd. And a couple YouTubers actually pointed out a lot of it. In fact, Upper Echelon made 3 videos kind of covering all of it, which I think make very good points. Overall, the whole thing was odd, if nothing else. And
what was the points? Charlie, come on, man. Give me some of the points, dog. Like, what did the Business Casual channel say? I need to understand, like, the dynamics here. Why was it a good video, and why were the bad... What were the bad videos? Or were the bad points, rather?
now Alex is back from the septic tanks, he's risen from the sewers like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and he's bringing bad news. He's striking down Magnates Media with what I and anyone with a functioning cerebral cortex will classify as blatant abuse of the copyright systems. So, he's issued 3 strikes to Magnates Media, which sets his channel up for termination in the coming days.
Yeah, I know this part sucks, okay? Watch the video. The world will not... Wait, this is a true story. A story about YouTube intentional efforts to undermine the United States of America in collusion with the Russian government. It's also a story about copyright infringement and YouTube's willful blindness to bad actors who openly admit to filing patently... Wait, what? This guy did not make a fucking YouTube video about false copy strikes? Also, what the hell? But also, what? Undermine the United States of America in collusion with the Russian government? What the fuck? Dude, this is so unhinged. What are the good points in this? I guess the copyright ones.
He's already received a notice that his channel will be taken down because of these strikes from Business Casual. Let me just lay down the brass tacks here with the level of lunacy we're dealing with these claims. So, Business Casual is basically taking away Magnates Media's entire livelihood because he believes that some of his content looked similar to his based on an editing technique called parallax editing. So he struck him 3 times for 3 separate videos.
What?
The total content time of those 3 videos is over an hour and a half long. And of those 3 videos, in total, 10 seconds, roughly 10 seconds worth of footage, Alex is saying belonged to him. So in one of the videos, it is actually just a single image that lasts for like 3 seconds, and he's saying that he stole it directly from his video because the parallax editing technique was a dead giveaway.
Is he going to show us?
But Magnates Media has proven beyond a shadow of doubt that not only is that image a public domain image, because they were covering a similar topic, so of course they're going to have similar images because it's a fucking public domain image. So he proved it's a public domain image and that the parallax editing technique was done by his editor, and he has...
Bro, is he Mr. Parallax? I don't get it. Is he John Parallax of Parallax Editing Incorporated? Do you own the editing technique? What the fuck? It's like, bro, Ken Burns effect is like a very common effect, right? Ken Burns did invent it. It would be ridiculous for Ken Burns to try to copy strike motherfuckers for using it. It is incredibly commonplace. Okay? That's like a real effect, for the record. It's when you punch into a photo to make it look more dynamic and like slowly pan in and zoom into it. Okay? By the way, I know that because I myself am a motherfucking, well, I did edit a lot of videos. Okay? It does. There's no proprietary editing technique in that regard. Okay? That's not parallax editing. Oh my God, I'm going to headbutt you. I'm talking about literally things that you can do, okay, when you are editing a fucking video, okay, that is not copyrighted. It's like ridiculous. It's a style. Why are you so fucking stupid? Literally, it's a feature edit setting in iMovie. You're not... What is happening? What is happening with chatters? Can I explain something that I at least have, like, some level of fucking understanding over without dumbass, without dumbass chatters just, like, jumping down my throat to be like, no, I know better than you.
Any copyright. Now, according to Upper Echelon, who have the screenshots over here, from zero to world's richest man, right? That was the actual title for the video. Yeah, that was the one right there. I just got to check in my notes. And this video was 53 minutes long. Business Casual's video was 16 minutes long. And basically, this image was basically the target point. Now, what is this image, you might ask? So this image is from the Library of Congress, okay? The Carnegie Steel Plant, Homestead, Pennsylvania. And if you look into this image right here, it's pretty cute, all right? If I compare it back to our friend's content, so to speak. Yeah, this is the exact same image, all right? Same chimney, same...
Muda's about to get copy strike by this motherfucker, dude.
Same everything. Now, this image, if we scroll all the way down this page to rights and access, the Library of Congress believes that many of the papers in the Detroit Publishing Company collection are in the public domain or have no copyright restrictions and are free to reuse and reuse. For example, all photos published in the US more than 95 years ago are in the public domain. So when was this image published, by the way? Let me get an exact 1905. Yeah, I'd say it fits the fucking bill, huh? Now, of course, we look at what public domain is. Public domain refers to creative materials that are not protected by intellectual property laws, such as copyright, trademark, or patent laws. So anybody can use this image. If I want to take this image and rotoscope it onto GTA 5, I can. It's my right, okay? I can do some motion tracking, add some lens flare, you know it. Now, of course, what happened over here was Business Casual apparently filed a copyright claim for what appears to be similar editing. Now, here's where I'm going to play a section of Business Casual's video in fair use, okay? The reason why I'm saying it's in fair use is I'm going to be critiquing the differences, and if Business Casual believes that I'm violating his copyright, obviously, he can use the YouTube copyright system, but I will absolutely be fighting it, okay? Because I believe what I am about to do is within fair use. So let's watch this, okay? So on the right here is Magnates Media, and on the left belongs to Business Casual's video. So if we actually see what's going on over here, you can see that in Magnates Media, they've got a, I guess you could say a parallax effect. So this kind of weird effect that you would see in like a lot of videos where like parts of the image are moving in different relations to different parts of the image. It's something that you can see plenty of people do. It's a very common editing routine. In fact, it appears that
it is quite literally identical, for the record, to what I was responding to and what I was comparing it to. The Ken Burns effect is a different style of editing. Okay? It is the exact same concept, similar to parallax, where you punch in slowly, you pan in slowly into a fucking still image to give it more life, okay? It was most commonly used by Ken Burns. Okay? Now it's literally a part of like, you know, CapCut and it's like a thing that you can do. It's literally like a plugin basically. But originally, that's how you did it. It was modifying a still image by making it look more lively by zooming in. Parallax is one step further. You add additional stuff to the background to make it seem like the foreground is moving in a different direction. It's super common. You don't own that. That's not a thing. Ken Burns owns Ken Burns effect, but he would never be able to fucking copy strike it because that would be ridiculous. Okay? We just learned together. Chill, bro. Suck my dick. I'm yelling at the one chatter who was like, Ken Burns is very different than Parallax. It's identical. Okay?
It's like,
anyway, let's finish this real quick.
And even in this case, Magnates Media provided, their editor provided the timeline of them actually doing it themselves. So again, it appears, based on what I'm looking at, that these effects are very different, okay? You got color grading that's different. Magnates has explosions. You've got, you know, these fire effects, these various, like, you know, alpha effects that are happening. Far different than what we're seeing over here on business casual side, okay? So again, if this was to go to a court of law, I think any judge would laugh this shit out. This looks like copyright trolling. But of course, as you all know, when it comes to copyright trolling, all right, it really does seem like business casual's, you know, actual claim to fame really is covering, it's not so much making content because he hasn't uploaded a video since he was suing YouTube, but rather he's just tweeting out at companies about, hey, I'd like to report an infringement of your series. May I ask for an appropriate person to contact? Good luck, I guess. Now, again, if Magnates Media absolutely doesn't win these, you know, copyright strikes, then literally tomorrow, since it would be the 11th as of time of doing it, he could have his channel gone, removed off YouTube forever. All the hours of work gone. I want to stress that if my editor had literally just ripped several minutes of footage from his content and simply copied it into my own video with no edits, I'd understand the strikes. But he didn't. Yeah, sure, you could argue that maybe the editing might be a little similar to your tastes, but that's not worthy of just filing a copyright strike over, okay? Literally, we watched it. There were a lot of differences present on that image alone. Anybody could take that public domain image and parallax affect it. It's not an uncommon editing strategy. It's not a patented, you know, editing strategy that business casual owns. Plenty of people do it. A couple of weeks ago, there was this Illuminati chick who was fucking going at Legal Eagle about the highlighter effect. You can't just copyright the most generic editing effects out there. Yeah. Jesus Christ. At least in that situation, copyright strikes weren't handed out. But I mean, it was still cringe. This is cringe, and I would argue it actually breaks the law. Now,
imagine motherfuckers being like, yeah, I copyrighted this brush stroke. You're not allowed. I hate that, man. God, dude, this is a byproduct of capitalism. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck what you say. You might say, Hasan, you say everything's capitalism. This is literally capitalism. I fucking despise IP. I hate it so much. I tell you all the time how much I fucking hate IP. I hope this kind of shit allows you to understand why I hate IP. Because it just, you know, this is what it's used for. I'm copywriting trimming video clips down. Yeah. Yeah. This is called cutting a film and trimming it down, and I invented it. I invented editing. My name is John Edit. Inventor of editing. You fucked up, sir. You will be hearing from my lawyers. Okay?
like a 16-minute video showcasing his editor doing the editing on that photo to prove he didn't take it from Business Casual. And they don't even look similar in any of these cases, but this is how outrageous Alex Edson's claims are. In total, about 10 seconds he has a problem with, saying that it looks similar to his work, thus it must have been stolen, and he has a right to terminate this channel. And Magnate's Media channel will be terminated because of these 3 strikes as of right now. He's already received the notice that it's coming. It's right around the corner. That is fucking...
My hotel room features some snacks. I have to pause here for a second because I invented pausing as well. I'm John Pause. I'm John Pause Edit. And I invented pausing and reacting to videos. I'm John Pause React Edit, actually. Fancy to meet you. Back to the video, though. I invented the secret middle of the hour ad breaks as well, by the way. And also I invented the top of the hour ad break, which is not here yet.
Frightening and just downright evil from Business Casual. Upper Echelon made an incredible video going over this entire subject from top to bottom, inside and out. I highly recommend checking out that video. I'm going to put a link to it in the description. He does an amazing job breaking it all down thoroughly, as well as some other incredibly fucked up things Alex has done.
If you read the other provisions of the DMCA Safe Harbor, Section 512, it's clear that Congress did not want parties to have to sue to enforce their rights. So while it may be that the system could be gamed on the other side, that's how Congress intended it to be. End quote. That right there is Business Casual arguing that simply because he filed some strikes, it therefore means that YouTube needs to terminate the entire channel without him proving anything in a court of law. That's what we just read. And that appears to be precisely what he's doing now to a channel named Magnate's Media.
What he was reading there comes from a completely different case, but just hearing that is beyond alarming. That is fucking chaos. That is the opening of Pandora's box in the worst way imaginable. So Alex Edson is an actual villain. And what he's doing here is completely unjustifiable. This is beyond fucking tragic. There's absolutely no argument he nor anyone could make on his behalf that would justify him taking down an entire channel, ruining the entire career and livelihood of that creator.
Whenever Charlie brings up like a YouTuber like Upper Echelon, I guess, and people go, oh, dude, he's like an annoying centrist. Like, I don't care. I don't care who the fuck this person is. I don't care what the fuck their background is. And I don't care that Charlie's promoting them. What I do care about is motherfuckers abusing copyright protections. I hate copyright in general. I hate IP in general. And this is part of the reason why I fucking despise them. Okay? The system itself is created and designed so that people can take advantage of it in this way, and it's really fucked up. So I don't care if someone is a fucking centrist who's talking about it. I have my principles are on my principles on this matter are on their side. Okay, it don't matter.
Based on similarity of public domain images. Now they made videos on similar topics. Obviously, they did do that, but there's nothing wrong with that. It's not like Alex owns that whole topic or anything. And Alex even made a bold claim that Magnate's Media stole his scripts from his videos, which is so laughably delusional. I imagine he was twirling his little evil mustache when he made that claim, because Business Casual's videos on the same content as Magnate Media
are like
is
15
like
minutes long.
19 minutes, 20 minutes long sometimes.
He makes hour-long
Magnate's
videos.
Media coverage is like 50 plus minutes long. So Magnate's Media does a much more thorough breakdown and deep dive on everything than Business Casual. So how the fuck would he have stolen any of the scripts? But even still, Magnate's Media played ball with it. He tap danced with the claims and still proved his innocence by showing all of the timestamps of the editing done to his script from fucking start to finish. Alex tried to claim that he stole his scripts and plugged it into ChatGPT to generate a somewhat different script while still maintaining his video's DNA. He doesn't even know what the fuck he's talking about. He's just using random buzzwords in his stupid little smooth brain. That's so laughable. What a fucking joke of a person. And it's sickening to see him do this to someone he views as competition. That's the only explanation I can think of for why he'd even target this channel. There is absolutely no justification or argument someone can make that would convince me that what Alex is doing here is just, and he has a right to do so. If there really was an issue where he felt like these images were stolen, like, oh, you took this image that my editor worked hard on editing, he could have reached out to Magnate's Media And Magnates Media has said multiple times on Twitter that he has tried to reach out to Alex himself to try and resolve this whole situation amicably. But Alex isn't responding. He's giving the cold shoulder, fucking full radio silence. But you could have reached out and said, hey, can you remove that, or some other different solution that doesn't involve striking. That is the nuclear option. That is the harshest punishment that you can dish out. And it's highly unnecessary here when all of the offending content that you believe is too similar to yours only accounts for 10 seconds out of over an hour and a half worth of content. That makes no sense. It's fucking ridiculous. And
yeah, I mean, the entire purpose, it seems, of this kind of activity, this kind of behavior, was to literally stop him from existing.
it's shameful. It is beyond shameful. Another YouTuber made a great video covering this situation as well, which I'll link in the description too, and he leads to a bigger conversation to be had about what this could mean for the entire platform going forward, as well as he talks about something that I think it's important we mention as well, that if Magnates Media tries to push back and defend himself, fight back against Alex Edson legally, Alex Edson may very well just turn around and sue him. He has shown he is more than willing to do that, and it just seems like he is vaguely alluding to the fact that he would be open to doing that against Magnates Media should he try and defend himself against his claims here. So, just an actual piece of shit. Now, what Scott highlights, and something that I'd also like to talk about, is what it could mean for the whole platform should this behavior continue. It would mean that if you, let's say, are doing a, video essay on a topic that another channel has covered, you might be at risk of them striking your channel down because you used the same image they used. You were covering the same topic and you may have used the same image, and maybe you just used very standard editing techniques like, TV static effect, or a very common one you see in all...
You can't do it. I invented that. Yeah. I'm Mr. John Pause Reacts Edit TV static effect, actually. That's my full name. And let me tell you, I made that up, actually. That's my effect. You'll be hearing from my lawyers, sir. Yeah.
Video essays these days are
yes,
the crumpled
chat,
paper...
stop making fun of me. We're Spanish, okay? I have added on all of my forefathers' names into my name, okay?
backgrounds. A lot of video essays today use the crumpled paper background. I think you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, should this kind of shit continue, you could very well be next on the chopping block for someone who said, hey, I have a right to use the crumpled paper background. You have lifted my editing technique. This work is too similar to mine. Here's a strike for it. I think it's pretty obvious how that would be absolutely awful to the platform overall. So really the whole thing is terrible. This whole situation is really bad for YouTube entirely. I've only scratched the very tip of this iceberg with how disgusting this whole situation is, so I do encourage you once again to watch the Upper Echelon video as well as Scott Schaefer's video. Mudahar also just posted something about it, and all three of them are far more knowledgeable on all of the nuance to this subject than I am. I just wanted to give a general overview of everything.
Thanks so much. If he just reached out and said he was unhappy that those 2 to 3 seconds look similar, I'd have happily cut them. And I've tried emailing him several times to see if there's some way we could sort this out between us, but he ignored the question. I've later found out that he has a history of stuff like this from back when he ran Power TV MCN, but that's a whole different rabbit hole. The problem I have is he immediately went to filing 3 strikes so my channel will get deleted. And while I'm countering, as I have no other choice, I can't post videos while the strikes are under review. And the next step is he could now file a lawsuit. Ordinarily, a creator would obviously never do that over literally a few seconds of footage. But he does have a history of lawsuits, and even if you're in the right, it can be a really long, expensive process still. Whilst I don't think my videos deserve to be taken down in the first place, I'm still willing to make whatever changes would make him happy. I just don't want to lose my entire channel despite the channel name. This isn't some big media company. I'm just a guy making videos with a few freelance editors who help me, and this channel is my entire livelihood. Surely there has to be some different solution here. Thanks again for everyone sharing this. I really do appreciate it.